Welcome back to another episode of Growth Through Ganja. Smoke with me, Ms. Pearl. I just want to send another shout out to J. Cole. Like the Fall Off album is making like my next several episodes just easy work. The next song off the Fall Off album will be Who the Fuck Is You? This is probably one of the most tea filled episodes. Probably one of the most tea filled episodes I'm going to do. Okay. This is my continued perspective on co-parenting with a professional baby daddy. So I got a call from my daughter while I was at the gym. And I'm like, oh, let me go and call her back. So I call her back and she kind of stumbling over her words. And the phone call goes like this. And I hear this goofy nigga in the back talking about, don't start crying now. And well, you obviously have not been because she ain't have no homework done. I'm like I had to hit the brakes on myself because I'm confused. She lied about not having homework. Welcome back to another episode of Growth Through Ganja. Smoke with me, Ms. Pearl. I just want to send another shout out to J. Cole. Like the Fall Off album is making like my next several episodes just easy work. I'm super excited. I just need to, just keep working. The next song off the Fall Off album will be Who the Fuck Is You? This is probably one of the most tea filled episodes. Probably one of the most tea filled episodes I'm going to do. But this is kind of me burying the hatchet. But I'm also just I'm gonna take it here, then there, and then back, and then where I'm at with some bullshit now. Okay. This is my continued perspective on co-parenting with a professional baby daddy. So I got a call from my daughter while I was at the gym. And I'm like, oh, let me go and call her back. So I call her back and she kind of stumbling over her words. And I'm on speakerphone as well. And so I'm like, kid, like, what's going on? And she's like, my homework book's this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you have a key. You could have just went in the house and got your stuff and, left back out, let me know, whatever. And then her father in the background talking about, tell her that we on the way and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. I get back to the house, then I see them. And she go ahead and she heads up and I just come in the house. So as she's leaving out, I'm like, are you sure you didn't have homework? Like, because I'm confused now. And she pauses, and the way that she looks, I'm like, oh, she lying. But I let her go ahead and go out the door for whatever, with her father. I get another phone call. And the phone call goes like this. I answer it, and it's like a pause. I'm like, what's up, kid? What's going on? And I hear this goofy nigga in the back talking about, don't start crying now. And so she crying, telling me that she lied about the homework. And I'm like, kid, like, I've been asking you about homework for the last 2 weeks or however long it was. Hear this nigga. Well, you obviously have not been because she ain't have no homework done. I'm like, I had to hit the brakes on myself because I'm confused. Like ever since he got okay, I'm gonna get to that. So I'm like, we do homework every day, and I've been asking about homework, so I'm confused as to what's happening. So this nigga wanna act like I'm a piece of shit mother, unstable, whatever, because she lied about not having homework. But to my knowledge, we've been doing homework all school year. So you want to call to check me? Like, this is what it was like. This was his whole thing is like he's trying to check me because not only did he do that shit, but he told my daughter to hang up the phone on me and to get to doing her homework. And I'm like, oh, what the? So I call her right back and she answers. I know he's in the background waiting to hear if I'm about to be going off. And I'm like, kid, like, don't hang up on me like that when I'm trying to talk to you. I said, I'll just talk to you later or something like that. I got off the phone where I text this nigga immediately. Nigga, dot. Cut that shit. He's talking about some, well, you need to visually verify and let me know or some shit like that moving forward. Can you do that? Thanks. Ever since he got with the bitch he with now, this is how this nigga thinks he can talk to me. So I'm like, nigga, you need to cut that shit because I know whether she there or not, these are the stories he likes to take back and put into them bitches' heads. I know that because I used to be one of them bitches. He used to try to get me to beef with his first baby mother, with the bitch he was fucking across the street. So I'm like, at this point, nigga, you must really be trying to show off for these bitches you ain't got no kids with. And it's like he wants me to go off. So, for instance, another example of this shit. He was like, we went to a doctor's appointment together. Of course, at the doctor's appointments, he don't ask no fucking questions. Whatever white man society says, that's what he goes with. This nigga does not value health. But I'm gonna get to that. He's like, I'm going to come and get her Wednesdays and Thursdays from now on. And I'm like, okay. He was waiting for me to say no. All this animosity that he got, it's like, nigga, I don't, I be asking you simple shit. You want me to come and chase behind you and it's been like that for years. So whatever happened, he ended up getting those extra days and he fucked up plenty of times, demonstrating that he was not capable of doing it. Piss poor communication. So my daughter would go over there for those extra days. He loves to tell the story about how my daughter went down the steps when she was like 11 months, when she was with me, right? But she went down the steps at his house and broke and cracked her ring fingers on both hands, and he told me nothing. If I can't be notified of what's going on with my child when she's with you, then you can't have 50-50 because you're pretty irresponsible. And let's fast forward. No. As a matter of fact, let's take it way back to when I met him. When I met this nigga, we had a similar job, and then his shit went that way because he was missing child support payments, so he couldn't go ahead and move forward with that job. So I did the training at the job, and we reconnected on POF. This was also around the time that the whole shit had spilled over with me and my son's father. So I had baggage that I was coming with, and not only that, he had no good intentions for me ever. Ever. Right? But yet he wants me to think that he's interested. But yet I gotta jump through all these fucking hoops But what I also noticed during that time that I met him is that he reminded me of my father. Tall ass nigga that think he's the sugar honey iced tea, just like my father. He had every piss poor excuse in the world as to why he didn't get his son more than every other weekend. That though, just those few things should have been the red flags. No, but what I did learn early was that this nigga belonged to the streets. Once I started to, I was just like, once I really started to get a look at this nigga, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and this is it for me. I'm gonna just go ahead and see, when you get to that point, you need to let that be what gets you the fuck out of that situation. Me, I thought I would just go back one last time and then that was it. And then one last time turned into my daughter. So all that shit we be listening to in the music, it gets you nowhere. Okay? So I'm pregnant. I let the nigga know. Ever since he found out he fucking hated me, he treated me like fucking garbage. And then he wanted a DNA test because he was still fucking with the bitch across the street and he was still fucking with other bitches around the same time he was messing with me. Because there was a fucking strand of hair on a throw blanket on his couch. And my thing was, nigga, we weren't together. You didn't have to lie about who the bitch was. Ain't no nigga coming over there with his bitch and she getting bundled up in your shit. He'll take the fucking shirt off his back first, nigga. There was a fucking hair clip on the side of the recliner in his bedroom. And the thing was, I wasn't even upset. I never got fucking upset about the idea of him with other females because I learned that the nigga is for the streets. Okay? Now, he treated me like shit during the pregnancy. There was no support. He was doing and saying whatever to try to get me to come back over there, but when I stopped going over there around him, that was it for me. He asked for a DNA test. We still ain't got that bitch to this day. This nigga, I couldn't talk to this nigga about nothing. The only thing he said that he cared about, he said he don't care about nothing but a DNA test and every other weekend. Okay. So again, she comes and he doesn't. This is the same nigga who said he volunteered himself to pay child support. And I was just like, okay. If you want to do the DNA test, then let's do it. The baby comes and I really find out who the fuck I'm co-parenting with. What the fuck I'm co-parenting with. So ladies, like, stop acting like y'all don't see these fucking signs with these niggas. What he do with that first child, he would do that shit with yours, and he would do that shit with the rest of them that come behind yours. So, during the time I was gone, he was still messing with other fucking females. And then I made an attempt to move on with somebody that I knew from high school. You know, keep the body count low. But, you know, somebody from high school. And that shit damn sure didn't work out. And that shit was like 6 months. He had to fucking go. Too fucking toxic. Still talking about shit from high school. Absolutely not. And then my daughter's father has the same thing going on across town where there's a female who she more mad at me than she looking my shit up on Instagram to see me. Never did I ever do any shit like that when it came to my daughter's father. So again, the shit that he doing now, and it's like, nigga, nobody's hurt about shit you have going on. It's just I see through that bullshit because you remind me of my father, and my father used to do that so that he can go back to them bitches he ain't got kids with and tell them that type of shit. To make them think that he ain't about shit. Nothing. Okay? So some time goes by, and eventually I end up in another relationship that I was in for like 4 years. So, like, me, my daughter, my son, we over here, we on this side of town. And everybody was happy on my side of town. Keep in mind, I never asked this nigga what the fuck he had going on. I never asked him what he did with my daughter when they were gone. I never asked him none of that shit. Because I didn't give a fuck. I still don't give a fuck. But then my daughter come back and she's like, I got a baby sister. And she looked like, and she said this in front of my ex. So me and my ex look at each other like, what the fuck? I take this info back to my frenemies at the time in the group chat. That shit set the group chat on fire. This was one of the funniest things that I probably ever did with these fucking goofballs. So now they want to know all the tea. They want to know if this shit is real or not. So I'm like, okay, I mean, at the time, I'm just like, whatever. So they start digging. They couldn't find this child nowhere, right? But I noticed that the diapers in my daughter's bag was also running low, and he was never putting them back. So I texted him one time. I was, walking around Walmart, and I'm looking at the diapers. I'm like, yeah, so I'm noticing that the diapers are low in kids' bag. I'm at Walmart now. He sends me $25, right? And in the description on Cash App, it says Plan B pill, right? So I text this nigga back and I said, did you get your third baby mother? I named the child. Did you get your third child's mother a Plan B pill? His response was, who is that? Those are his words. He said, who is that? So I probably still got the screenshot, but I'm sure I screenshot it and I put it in a group chat, right? So time goes by, they don't find nothing. And his mother's standing outside, like trying to guard me from going inside her house. And I'm just like, why is everybody acting why is everybody acting like this? Everybody acting all strange. Even my mother asked him, and he still denied it. Right? Keep in mind, my daughter's telling me these stories about her sister. And I'm laughing more than anything because I had no plans on going back on that side of town anyway. Like, I wasn't going back over there for nothing. Not to visit, nothing. There were no indications I was going back over there. Okay? Especially since this might have been around the time of Smovid, and my daughter got it like 2019, like December 2019. And then that's when March of 2020 is when they started shutting everything down. So when my son tested positive, my daughter's father didn't come get her for a month and a half. This is the same motherfucker who got the jab and still caught it. Oh, okay. So then I'm trying to figure out why everybody's acting all strange. Some time goes by and I receive a picture from somebody I know with a picture of the child with my daughter's father talking to the child. And then the person was like, yeah, his third baby mother, she not cute either. And I was like, oh. Like, I couldn't say anything because according to him, this shit ain't even happening. This ain't even for real. So then I dropped the pic in the group chat. We went fucking bananas. BANANANANANA. We went bananas, nigga. We went off on that joint. It was chocolate sundaes, Laugh Factory. To this day, to this day, to this day. And I don't even talk to them fucking goofy goopers ever. We ain't got shit to talk about. So fast forward, like a year and a half, pushing 2 years goes by, and he was still lying about the child. Then he finally shows me a picture, and I'm just looking at the picture laughing because I've already seen this shit. And I'm about to take this shit back to the group chat. We about to get it. This shit about to be hilarious. Not one time did any of them ever hear me say I was hurt or upset by the situation. Nigga, no. Not one. So then, the cat's out the bag, and I really don't give a fuck. Next thing you know, little baby is at my house. She over there sitting down at my daughter's table, coming to visit. Hi, bye. Mm-hmm. This shit is hilarious. This shit is hilarious to me. Nigga. And then he tried to tell me he was mad as shit. $1,200 a month in child support. $1,200 a month. Why would I go back over there? He tried to convince me that he was trying to have this girl move in his house. He was trying to do this. He was trying to do that. And meantime, Shorty carrying the shit out of him. Whole time. And he's almost some, I should have seen the red flags. And I'm laughing because this is what the fuck I'm thinking about this nigga. Ain't it funny how God works? I'm dying. Because this shit is hilarious. You better be careful when you're fucking with God's favorites. This nigga all at my house mad as shit. Because he got the thing down some more. And she carrying the shit out this nigga with the baby. She like, oh yeah, she ain't coming this weekend because I got plans and I'm doing. And I'm like, ooh. After you done told mine that you was coming to get her, now you want to call and say that you're not coming because, nah. She will see you when you fucking get here to get her. I don't give a fuck what you and all the rest of them have going on. If you tell my daughter you coming to get her, fucking come get her. And that's exactly what happened that day. I didn't give a fuck what he was talking about. He all out there trying to vent about court. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, nigga. And then whatever's happening, fast forward from that, we found out that his oldest son is related to one of my frenemies from back then. So the group chat lit about that. This nigga even more lit. My daughter's father show up after he finds out, trying to put his arm around me, talking about we are family. So I push the nigga off, and then I tell my ex. At the time, my ex was like, "What? Why the fuck is he trying to put his arm around you?" And I'm like, I ain't have no boundaries, and it's around the time of my spiritual awakening. So I'm just trying to figure out who am I and what the fuck is going on. My ex was like, go ahead and shut that down. Yeah, go ahead and shut that down. Then I was going to therapy online, and my therapist said, oh yeah, go ahead and shut that down. Go ahead and close the door on that. And so I started seeing shit for what it was. He had that fucked up ass situation over there. Right? Going through all these females, thinking that he untouchable. Yeah. Then he thought that he was going to somehow use me again when he wants to get away from over there. No, sir. I remember one time we met up at the stadium and he was picking my daughter up. He put my daughter in the front seat. At this time, she was too small to be in the front seat. He put her in the front seat and gonna turn around and look at me. I drove like I had 20s on that bitch. All my tires was bald and I skirted off on his ass. I had to really start seeing it for what it was. I had never created no boundaries and I had to recognize that I couldn't even be casual with this nigga. So once I told my daughter's father that my ex at the time was like, yeah, we can't be friends, whatever. I ain't really even give him no reason. I was just like, nah, we just, it is what it is. This nigga used to call me to see if my ex could do work at his house that he could do because he was really trying to smooth things over to be the cool guy. My ex was like, what? And I was even on the phone confused, like, what? Like, nigga, you do work on your own house. Why would? He used to use my relationship with his oldest son to try to keep me on a hook. Like, no, nigga, if you want to keep your man over there, I can block him because he ain't my child anyway. And then I can keep it the fuck moving. I'm not fucking tripping, nigga. I just want to let you know that I know game. And then just fast forward. Like, okay, he tried to convince me that he was serious about baby mom number 3. He tried to use all the material shit in the world to convince this girl that he was whatever the fuck. Fast forward. He just randomly ends up with some random girl. And I'm just like, whatever. Because he didn't already have my daughter around too many bitches for me to even be. This bitch might not even be here next week. I don't fucking know. Right? And then if you were serious about your third baby mother, then why didn't you introduce us? Because you've never been able to throw anything you never knocked any of my screws loose. None of them. Okay? He ends up with this random girl, and then this is how, like, he comes to my house to drop my daughter off with this girl. And he has tents on it, so I don't, whatever. When he usually dropped my daughter off, he would have her on the passenger rear side so that I can just open the door, get her out, and then we head in the house. No, not this day. He puts her behind him and then puts the third baby right there at the door where my daughter's usually seated. And then girlfriend's in the front. So he goes and stands off to the side to see my reaction. And I just open the door, and of course I'm caught off guard because this ain't the normal setup. And I was just like, hi, little baby. And then I just closed the door and I just went in the house with my daughter. Like, I never. If he didn't support me when I was pregnant with his first daughter, why would I go back and risk getting fucking pregnant again? Why would I do that? Hurt that you're with them? I don't have shit to prove. If me and my twin flame didn't work out, never saw each other again, I still wouldn't have shit to prove to my daughter's father. I've been doing homework with her since she was like 2, 3 when I was homeschooling her, and he was out chasing behind females so that he could hurry up and try to be on what I was on. Nobody was even fucking thinking about him. Nigga, is you coming to get her or not? I didn't give a fuck. I did not care. Once I started to get back on my feet and I started to really recognize who the fuck I was, that really made him mad. Because now I'm not the short, fat, ugly baby mother. I'm not the fat, ugly baby mother. You can't tell nobody that shit. Because they will have to come see it to believe it. And I ain't got no problem walking outside. None. There's no love lost because there was never any love there. So why would I be going back? I told his third daughter, I said, I'm going to be the best stepmother you're never going to have. I meant that shit. Because he was trying to swindle his motherfucking way back in, and I had throw that fucking plate right off the table. My therapist said, shut it down. That's what the fuck I did. And then when he got extra time with my daughter, he was doing all kinds of goofy ass shit for my attention. And it's like, bro, you hurting her. She got to be name brand this, name brand that. Nigga, you really can't afford it. You really can't afford it. You Tesla this. Do your thing. Do your thing. Because the only one going to be looking stupid is you. I ain't got shit to prove. I'm on my feet. I'm going to stay on my feet. I would never go back to that shit. Ain't nothing changed about him. By the way that he talks to my daughter, I know nothing's changed about him. Besides the bitch that settled for that shit. And that's fine. She can have it. Because ain't no social party in there. It's a silent party in there. And it is what it is. It is what it is. Why would I go back to that? Why would I go? This nigga don't value health. And our daughter has allergies out the ass, beyond sensitive skin. And when shit happens, nigga, why would I go back to that? He aged horribly. With the time since 2020, all the way up until now, if you look at us side by side, you will see who put in the work. You will see who put in the work. My mom come back and she's like, yeah, he's diagnosed with diabetes type 2. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Why the fuck would I care? He got somebody for that. Do your thing, girl. Whatever the fuck that is. Like, no. Who the fuck are you to ever think that I would go back to that? Never heard about anything. But I'm paying attention to the goofy shit that he does and the way that he uses my daughter. He'll ask for my daughter 50-50, but won't get an extra fucking day with the third one. Make me believe you want to be a better father. Make me believe that it's not about your ego. Because your shit has been going downhill. Why would I go back to a nigga with ED? This is 10 years ago I'm talking about. 10. Why would I go back to that? Like, come on now. And it's like, I don't even need to argue with this nigga because my ancestors, God has been, and I don't have to be around. I live by, I don't have to see you to touch you. I live by that. That's why I be calm, cool, collected, out the way, whatever. Okay. This felt good to vent, and I think I'm just going to keep working on me because everybody else got their own idea of me, and I got to keep my idea of me because I don't really give a fuck. You got to let people know what it is sometimes. I mean, people weird. It's like, no, nigga, you pretty weird. Because I know that what's happening is not for my daughter. It's happening because of ego. And I don't have to get into it with nobody's ego. Because at the end of the day, once the child see what's happening, the child knows. God knows. And it just is what it is. To anybody out there co-parenting with a toxic parent on the other side, just let them fucking be toxic. Just pause before you even react, because it's not. You already know that shit is not worth it. And you really don't even want to get all bent out of shape in front of the child. Just continue working on you, and whatever the fuck they gotta say. Like I told that nigga, I said, you telling bitches I'm still butthurt, I said, that's crazy work. When you can't learn from a person, grow with a person, when they still on the same shit, why would I go back to that? To possibly end up with another one? No. No, I've come too far and I'm too fine. No, sir. No, sir. Like, nigga, you look significantly older than me. And we're 5 years apart. No, sir. I'm not trying to look like somebody's. I'm good on the side bitch energy. Those days for me have been long gone. And if you notice these red flags, get the fuck out of there. But hey, what can I say? Maybe it got something from it. Maybe it didn't. Maybe you back next week. Maybe you won't. Either way, this has been Growth Through Ganja. Smoke with me, Miss Pearl.